And joining me for the discussion, Dr. Ranjeet Mehta. He's the Principal Director, PhD Chamber of Commerce. Very warm welcome, Ranjeet. Would be starting you with the Prime Minister's remark at Davos while addressing to the CEOs of the world, major companies. He said jokingly that, okay, whether you like it or not, but let's see that you appreciate me after the budget or not. And many are expecting, okay, whether this is a hint, this is a kind of a hint that the budget would be soft on the corporate sector or not. How do you take this comment?
You see, first of all, we cannot ignore the fact that infrastructure is extremely important for any country if we really want the kind of growth that you're looking for. And this government especially realizes this very fact, and they have done a lot. If you see, if you go back in 2014, see the kind of infrastructure push the government has been giving in its own agenda.
Right.
We had a budget of 1.81 lakh crore in 2014, and that has been increased to 3.96 crore, around 4 lakh crores in this last budget. And this shows the government's intention that the infrastructure sector is extremely important, and we need a big push for that.
Okay.
And this particular budget for infrastructure will be very important because this is the last full budget before the government goes into election in 2019.
Yeah.
And I think that, the major focus areas in this, of course, are, if you see, there is a lot of work being done in road and port sector. What we need right now is a big push now, since railways has been combined with the main budget.
Yeah.
So that will also come in infrastructure now. I think that we need to modernize our railways and railway stations and the bullet train, that big project that Government of India is focusing on. These are the sectors we need a lot of investment. And if you see the government vision for infrastructure sector, the massive project like Sagarmala. Sagarmala project, which is having lot of coastal economic zones, because government's priority is also to generate employment in the country. True. Because we have so many young people who are coming to the workforce every year. So for them to generate employment, and construction sector after the agriculture sector is the only sector where we can look for a lot of employment generation. And this Sagarmala project especially, which we have around 7,500 kilometers of
intercoastal line.
Intercoastal line.
Yeah.
And we have not taken advantage of this so far. I think that by creating that special economic coastal zones, government is really focusing on those areas which we can really take advantage from. And another project when you see is Bharatmala project. Yeah. Bharatmala project is a huge impetus in the road and highway sector, where the government plans to make around 84,000 kilometers of road by 2022. And if you see the road sector, when 2014 the government has come, that time the road sector was making around 4 to 5 kilometer road per day. But today, it is around more than 30 kilometers a day. And anywhere you go, and roads are there. And the very fact that this four-lane highway and expressways in under this Bharatmala project, that is really going to change everything. Because why? It is important. When the economy grows at a higher rate, we know that our infrastructure is not all that robust. We need a world-class infrastructure, and for that, connectivity is very important. We have to take the growth to the last mile, to the last person, and inclusive growth is the agenda of the Government of India.
Okay, so three top ministers of this government, Finance Minister, Mr. Jaitley, Road and Transport Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, and Mr. Piyush Goyal. They are all giving the hints that, okay, that this is a very important sector and we need more money. They are inviting the people and countries to come and invest here. Mr. Gadkari said that we need at least 25 lakh crore for next 3 years, and include the 5 lakh crore for road, rail and poor connectivity projects. But do you think that, okay, let's say in this budget, if government increases the budget of 20%, which was 4 lakh crore last year, so it may be like 4.5 lakh crore or approximately 5 lakh crore. Will it be suffice, to meet the kind of demand that India is facing at this moment?
See, this budget is of course for 1 year only. I was, seeing some of the news reports that government is going to spend around 3,000 crores per day during this year. in the infrastructure sector alone. So with that measure, I think that we definitely need this kind of money, though I think that, public spending is happening. Because right now, what is happening is, my worry is this, that private sector is mute on investment in the infrastructure sector. So what we have to do is, even if we see the Kelkar committee, so we need to actually revive the PPP projects. So PPP projects are not happening, but government impetus on infrastructure sector, on public spending is huge, and they are doing it. But really, to spur the growth in the sector, we need to have private participation. And for that, I mean, maximum things have been done. Like initially the problem was...
But PPP mode has been here since last couple of years. Why did not it create a kind of atmosphere, or let's say the response from the private sector? What has been the reason?
See, initially when PPP was introduced in our country and people had done bidding for the infrastructure projects, that we saw that in last government regime, that more than 6 lakh crores of infrastructure projects were held or stalled. The reasons were very simple. The reasons were environment clearances, right of way, and some of the projects they could not see the light of the day because of land acquisition and all that. So what the government has done is now, in fact, that they have made the environmental clearances very simple and also very easy for the people to come in. Another very important problem which was in the sector was the alternative dispute resolution mechanism, which was not there before. Now that alternative dispute resolution mechanism is in place. So that is a big, huge, boost to the foreign investors as well. Because when we see that lots of cases they keep pending in the courts. However, this alternative dispute resolution mechanism, that is going to make it easier for the people. And there is also now have been some changes in the PPP contracts. I think that these are the things which are important, and I'm still yet to see. In fact, I'm yet to see the kind of investment what we require, because government alone cannot have the kind of investment. Because we need, if you see, by 2022, we need at least 60 lakh crore rupees to be invested in the infrastructure sector by 2022. So this is a huge money.
That is a huge money.
It's around $1 trillion. In fact, around $1 trillion money. So for that, government cannot alone, in fact, keep investing. Public expenses are very less.
So time is giving a lot of emphasis on Sagarmala projects, highways, increase in time in the road rate, construction of the road rate. But you talked about that, inland water connectivity and multi-road connectivity. Where is going to get the money? I mean, what has been the private response so far, and how we can make them come to invest money in?
See, now since the government has already declared 111 rivers as national waterways, and there, like Inland Waterways Authority of India has already, they have given for bidding the projects in various places, like from in Allahabad, from Allahabad to Haldia. That is one place where the things have already started. Why it is needed is basically it is not only going to generate the employment, but also going to make the transportation very cheap. Number one, it will be very sustainable and cheaper way of transportation, which is the need of the hour right now. And also it is a cleaner way of transportation. And moreover, the thing is, it is in India, you see the water tourism is very, very less. So this has not been focused at all. If we create, like right now, we had seen our Prime Minister, having gone in the seaplane. So these are the futuristic things. I mean, anywhere you go in the world now, even take example of Delhi. We have Yamuna, we have the Yamuna River. Now, what is the condition of river? So, if all these can be, with barges and all, if all these can be, connected in a way that this will not only use for the transportation or for the waterways, but also it will create a tourism attraction for various people in our country. And tourism, of course, after the construction sector, it generates a lot of employment. So it will give the employment to the local youth. Imagine that, I mean, 111 rivers are being used for waterways. So what kind of, India we are going to see? Of course, I mean, we need a lot of investment for that.
Okay.
And I'm sure that government is definitely working on it.
I would be more cautious.